The enigmatic Book of Jubilees, the cosmic tapestry of creation. Imagine a sacred text that unveils hidden dimensions of the biblical narrative. Preserved in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church as the Book of Jubilees, a work revered as divine revelation, known as Little Genesis, this ancient text expands the stories of Genesis, weaving a cosmic narrative of creation, patriarchs, and God's eternal laws. Its 50 chapters claim to fill gaps in the canonical narrative, offering intricate details about angels, sacred time, and God's preordained plan for the universe. Yet, this profound text was excluded from the mainstream Christian canon, sparking curiosity about why its revelations were deemed too controversial. Jubilees reimagines the creation story, portraying not just the formation of the physical world but the establishment of a divine temporal order orchestrated by God and his angels. On the first day, before the physical world took shape, God created angels as active participants in the cosmic order, governing time, seasons, and natural phenomena. These angels, assigned specific roles, ensured the universe operated in harmony with God's will, serving as messengers and guardians of his sacred laws. Central to Jubilees is the concept of sacred time, embodied in a precise solar calendar of 364 days, divided into 4 seasons of exactly 91 days each, overseen by these celestial beings. This calendar, mirrored in Ethiopia's modern calendar, ensures sacred days like the Sabbath and festivals align consistently with God's eternal rhythm. In contrast, the lunar calendar, adopted by many ancient cultures, including the Israelites, is portrayed as a corruption that disrupts divine order, leading to spiritual chaos. Jubilees warns that those who follow the lunar calendar disturb the seasons, and make an abominable day the day of testimony, highlighting the spiritual consequences of straying from God's design. The text's emphasis on the solar calendar as the only legitimate measure of time challenges the practices of ancient Israel and underscores divine alignment. The first Sabbath, sanctified by God, is presented as an eternal law, observed by both humans and angels, anchoring the cosmic order. Jubilee cycles of 49 years restore harmony to the land, people, and angelic realm, reflecting God's plan for renewal. Jubilees' creation account portrays a meticulously ordered cosmos, where angels, time, and divine laws intertwine to maintain God's perfect order. This narrative sets the stage for a retelling of Genesis that expands into a cosmic saga, revealing the significance of sacred time and angelic involvement. The text's exclusion from the canon raises questions about the diversity of ancient sacred texts and their interpretations of God's plan. This cosmic perspective invites us to explore Jubilees' mysteries and reconsider the foundations of biblical history, the foundations of divine law, and the lineage of righteousness. Jubilees introduces divine law through angelic mediators, with God bestowing commandments on Adam for Sabbath, purity, marriage, and worship immediately after his creation. These laws, delivered by the angels of the presence, establish a primordial ethical code governing both heaven and earth. Predating the Mosaic law, the angels themselves adhere to these eternal covenants, creating a unified framework for divine order across the cosmos. This suggests a continuity of divine principles from creation, raising questions about the origins of God's law. The story of Cain and Abel is enriched with details of Cain's sin as a profound spiritual breach, casting a shadow over humanity. Seth emerges as the righteous heir, instructed by angels in God's laws, continuing the covenantal lineage. Noah's story expands to detail the Nephilim's corruption, offspring of fallen angels and humans, necessitating the flood's purification. God's covenant with Noah reaffirms purity, righteousness, and Sabbath observance, marking a new beginning for humanity. This covenant includes laws of sacrifice and purity, later echoed in the Mosaic law, practiced by Noah post-flood. These laws emphasize maintaining spiritual and physical purity, aligning humanity with God's eternal order. Abraham's youth is depicted in a family steeped in idolatry, with his rejection of false gods marking his divine calling. He destroys his father's idols, choosing the one true God in a bold act of spiritual rebellion. Jubilees claims Abraham observed Sabbath, sacrifices, and purity laws, delivered by angels. Long before Moses, these laws were taught by angels, connecting Abraham to the cosmic order inscribed on the heavenly tablets. The covenant of circumcision is a cosmic law, inscribed on the heavenly tablets since creation, eternal for all generations. This law governs both angels and humans, uniting the terrestrial and celestial realms in divine obedience. Abraham's adherence to these laws elevates him as a key figure in God's cosmic plan, guided by angelic revelation. His role underscores the continuity of divine law from creation, passed through angelic mediation to the patriarchs. Trials of faith, divine promises, and the seeds of nations. The binding of Isaac in Jubilees introduces Mastema, an adversarial angel, challenging Abraham's faith in a cosmic test. Mastema's challenge frames the event as spiritual warfare, with Abraham's faith triumphing over evil forces. God's command to spare Isaac proves Abraham's unwavering devotion, a victory in the cosmic struggle. Jacob and Esau's conflict is portrayed as a divinely ordained struggle, with Jacob chosen for righteousness. Esau's descendants, the Edomites, embody rebellion, opposing Israel's divine mission throughout history. God's prophecy to Rebekah reveals Jacob's predestined role and Esau's rebellious path. Jacob's inheritance of the blessing fulfills a divine plan inscribed on the heavenly tablets. Jacob receives angelic commandments, including Sabbath and the sacred calendar, to uphold God's order. This conflict reflects a cosmic battle between righteousness and rebellion, extending to future nations. Isaac's blessing to Jacob includes divine laws, ensuring their transmission to Israel's tribes. Esau's rebellion leads to his descendants' opposition, a prophetic struggle recorded on the heavenly tablets. This cosmic conflict frames Israel as God's chosen, with Esau's line as a persistent adversary. The prophetic vision of this struggle connects to Jubilees' apocalyptic hope for righteousness' triumph, the formation of a nation, the shadow of enslavement, and the dawn of divine law. Jacob's 12 sons' births align with the sacred calendar, their destinies inscribed on the heavenly tablets. Each son's birth is a divine event, part of God's cosmic plan for Israel's formation. Reuben's sin, a violation of divine law, leads to Judah and Levi's rise as leaders. Levi's priesthood is an eternal mandate, established on the heavenly tablets before Moses. The tribes are guardians of God's law, tasked with preserving divine commandments across generations. Their role connects earthly actions to the cosmic order, ensuring God's plan unfolds. Joseph's betrayal by his brothers is a sin against divine order, recorded on the heavenly tablets. Their transgression sets the stage for Israel's enslavement, part of a divine plan. Joseph's rise in Egypt fulfills a divine purpose to save Israel from famine. Angels guide Joseph, ensuring his role in God's cosmic plan for Israel's deliverance. His success is preordained, leading to Israel's settlement and eventual enslavement in Egypt. This narrative frames Joseph's life as a cosmic event, pivotal to God's redemptive plan. The shadow of bondage, the dawn of law, and the prophetic horizon. Israel's enslavement in Egypt is a prophesied trial, inscribed on the heavenly tablets, preparing for the Exodus. This bondage fulfills a divine purpose, leading to God's revelation of power. Angels, including Mastema, influence the conflict, with Mastema hardening Pharaoh's heart. The plagues are divine judgments and symbolic victories over Egypt's false gods. The Exodus is a cosmic event, fulfilling the heavenly tablets' prophecy. The Mosaic law revealed at Sinai reflects eternal laws inscribed on the heavenly tablets. These laws were observed by patriarchs like Abraham, long before Moses' time. The 364-day solar calendar is central, ensuring alignment with God's cosmic rhythm. Adherence to this calendar prevents spiritual disorder, as warned in Jubilees. Jubilees envisions Israel's exile, return, and final judgment, governed by the heavenly tablets timeline. Angels execute God's judgment, separating the righteous from the wicked. Mastema's defeat and binding mark the triumph of righteousness in the end times. The Messianic kingdom restores earth, with the righteous living in eternal peace. Jubilees weaves creation, law, and prophecy into a cosmic narrative of God's eternal plan. Its exclusion from the canon invites reflection on ancient sacred texts and their insights. Share this video, like and subscribe to your channel, The Lost Gospels of Jesus, to explore more biblical mysteries. Join the conversation in the comments about Jubilees' most striking revelations. Watch out, the Jubilee clock is running out. What Jubilee says happens in 2026. Part 2, welcome back. Previously, we discovered that the Book of Jubilees was scripture to the Dead Sea community, was deliberately removed from every Western Bible, and contains details about angels, calendars, and history that most Christians have never heard. Today, we do the one thing the church never wanted us to do: we open the countdown. Jubilees doesn't just retell Genesis, it claims all of human history from Adam to the final. Restoration was pre-written on heavenly tablets and divided into exactly 50 units of 49 years each. Every 49 years is one Jubilee. After the 50th Jubilee, there is a great eternal rest. No more Satan, no more sickness, no more war. Children will once again live for almost 1,000 years. The book ends with these words in chapter 50 verse 5, "And there shall be no Satan nor any evil destroyer, for all their days shall be days of blessing and healing." That's the finish line. Now, people have been calculating this timeline for centuries. The most common serious estimates, using the internal Jubilee calendar and the Masoretic chronology, place the final Jubilee somewhere between 2026 and 2040. Some say we entered the 50th Jubilee cycle in 2017-2018, because a Jubilee year is also the first year of the next cycle. Others say the closing of the 49th was 2026 to 2027. Either way, we are living on the last page of the book right now. But the scariest part isn't the math. It's chapter 23. Listen to this slowly. "In those days the children shall begin to search the law and to search the commandments, but they shall not find them. And knowledge shall increase, but wisdom and understanding shall flee from them. The children will have white hair when they are young because of the greatness of distress and sorrow. A man whom people thought would live 100 years will die at 70. Sound familiar? The chapter describes a complete collapse of lifespan, morality, and natural order in the final generations before the great renewal. It even says the fruit of the trees will be late and men will buy fields and not enjoy them. It reads like someone watched the last 5 years and wrote it down 2,200 years ago. Then there's the Mastema twist. After the flood, Noah begs God to bind every evil spirit. God agrees except Mastema, the prince of darkness, asks to keep 10% of the demons free so humanity can still be tested. God grants the request. That's why evil survived the flood according to Jubilees. 10% were deliberately left loose. So where do we go from here? In the description, you will find some literature so that you can gain a greater understanding of Jubilee. For the first time in 16 centuries, the book they tried to bury is available to anyone. The same text that the Essenes died protecting, the same text Ethiopian monks copied by hand through persecution, is now a PDF you can open in 10 seconds. I'm not here to tell you the world ends next Tuesday. I'm here to tell you the countdown is public, the book is public, and the decision is yours. Will you do what almost every generation of Christians since the year 400 did, pretend it never existed? Will you be one of the few who actually reads it before the final Jubilee arrives? Thank you for spending this time with us across these 2 videos. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel, The Lost Books of Jesus. If anything you heard shook you even a little, share this with one person who still thinks the Bible only has 66 books. I'll see you in the next one. Stay awake.